Welcome back to the Real Estate Rat Pack Radio Show with Chris, Joe, and Rob. The crew is taking your calls, so dial in at 1-800-808-5548.
And we're back.
Yeah, we did that pretty well, actually.
Yeah.
And so we're in our next segment here, and I got one of my dear friends who I've known probably for 15 years, Mario Arriaga. Welcome to the show, Mario.
Well, thank you, Rob. Glad to be here this morning.
It's been a lot of fun. And I'll give you some background on Mario from when I've known him. He is in our leadership track at Houston Association of Realtors and is going to be installed on the 10th of December as our chairman-elect. So you're
Correct.
coming up into that position, but you've also served as regional vice president for the Texas Association of Realtors, director for National Association of Realtors. I can't, so many things to say, but you were appointed to a board as well. Talk a little bit about
Yes, I'm on one of the advisory members of the Real Estate Research Center at Texas A&M, appointed by Governor Perry.
That's an awesome thing. You get a lot of different, bunch of information on that. So talk about, I mean, you have been in the banking business. Talk about your early career, how you started, and how you got to where you are today.
Well, that's a long way back, Rob.
And
That's a long way back.
You can even mention John.
And go into detail.
Well, actually, this year we have a partner, John, and Ekstrom and I have First Group, and our office is in Conroe. And this is our 40th year in business.
Oh, wow.
So we've seen several cycles in the Houston market, many good, many not so good.
Yeah.
And so we're still fortunate to be able to say that we're still here right now.
Wow.
And right now, as we were talking about earlier, you know, the Houston market, Texas market in general is extremely strong. Houston is just fabulous right now. While we all know that the residential market is a very hot market, we can comfortably say that the commercial market is a hot market.
Hot.
It is very strong right now. So at any rate, we started that about 40 years ago, and we're a general brokerage company. Do pretty much everything related to commercial real estate. We also do some small residential amount of work. Early in the 80s, we were fortunate to decide to get into the banking business.
That's the story I love.
And what we decided to do is, in order to have some local representation, rather than having to go outside the area for decisions on loan requests, we wanted some local involvement. So we were able to form a national bank. We opened National Bank of Conroe in the early 80s, and ultimately wound up doing some banks in Tomball and Willis and Decker Prairie, and got out of that business in the mid-90s. So, but it was a good experience because it kind of showed us the other side of the coin in terms of what the lenders actually go through right now.
It gave you a different perspective.
Very different perspective. And but anyway, so that was been a great experience.
Well, talk about your scope of your business a little bit. You do a lot of things. I know you represent some of the school districts and acquisitions.
You know, I've represented school district before in acquisitions. You know, with the growth going on in Houston, school districts are having to look in advance and see where their growth is going to go in terms of residential development and be able to have schools ready to go in that area to meet their needs. So I've been fortunate to do that. And that's, pretty much on the north side of Houston that I've done that. So, I concentrate in the Houston market as well as Montgomery County market. One of the things that we talked about recently was the Grand Parkway, 99. And that segment, Rob, is being built from 290 right now. And segment F1 is going to go to 249. Segment F2 is going to go from 249 to 45, right there in the Woodlands where Exxon is. And then segment G is going to go all the way to 59.
Wow.
And the interesting thing about that is once that Grand Parkway is totally completed in several years, it is over 180 miles in length.
Oh, my goodness. I'm thinking road race.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, it's a long road, but it's opened up a lot of opportunities up in that area, particularly up in, we were talking earlier about the Exxon campus. That is 3 million square feet of space that they're building there, and they are bringing in 10,000 employees to work in that one area. And in addition to that, that's bringing other companies that do business with Exxon, that want to locate near them. So there's a huge ancillary effect in terms of additional growth that's coming.
And of course, with that, people move up there, so you have to have all the services and goods and services.
Absolutely. So it's opening up, a big market. So as the Grand Parkway is built, going west towards Tomball or 290, it's opening up a lot of land there. So you're seeing a lot of developers going out there now buying tracts to get ready to build residential developments in that area, and even going over to 59, a lot of new growth going over in that area and Highway in 59.
Yeah, I'm thinking when I travel up to Conroe, of course, there's a little bypass on Conroe now, that little toll road that goes around it, but I go up there and look at that. It used to be a sleepy little country town, and now it's growing like a weed.
It's growing like crazy. And of course, the Woodlands is not at build-out now, but they're getting there in the next few years. And so the Howard Hughes Corporation, which is the owner of the Woodlands Development Corporation, went out and bought 2,000 acres between Conroe and Willis on the west side of I-45.
I'm not the least bit surprised.
And the surprising thing to me is that reportedly they paid $95 million for that 2,000 acres.
Gee.
So what's that work out per square foot?
It's a little over $1 a square foot for 2,000 acres.
That is
So these are the guys that have been doing the Woodlands. They're doing a great job of developing that, and they see what's happening there. They see the growth that's coming up in that area. So they're jumping out to the next leg up and saying, okay, we're going to be ready for the next wave. And between that track and the existing Woodlands development, Johnson Development bought the old Boy Scout camp.
Yeah, we had Johnson Development on 2 weeks
Yep.
ago. We
Yeah.
had Doug Goff on. I was talking a little bit about that. It was
So,
pretty exciting.
so that's in between the Woodlands, the current Woodlands and the new Howard Hughes track. So, we're fortunate up in the Montgomery County area that we look like we're just going to be poised for just a big push and a lot of growth.
And there's a lot of advantages up there because, Conroe actually has gotten to be quite a city. And, of course, it's got medical and it's got great access to the airport. So, I mean, it really isn't it's a
Very nice lake.
A nice lake.
Fabulous
Most of the
Lake
time
Conroe.
when it has water in it.
When it has, right now it does. It's
water
full.
in it.
It's full.
Right now it's not a constant level lake, but it's a lot of people are electing to move those areas, and of course, that's something I'd like to consider. But ultimately, I'd love to be in a lake community and then have good access to medical and stuff. And
And in Conroe, we've got the airport that's there, and there's an ongoing effort right now to get that airport approved for international flights coming in and out. For
what comes in
customs.
there now? What comes in there now?
It just local, but it's not international. So
It'll handle jets though. Big
it'll handle jets.
Big
yeah.
jets.
So it used to be an old naval air station.
Okay.
So and they've expanded the runway some. So some good opportunities there that are making that area continue to be
That'll make
attractive.
that area boom quite a bit. Of course, Willis will be the benefit of that. And of course, watching those people buy all you have to do is follow the money, right?
That's true.
Follow the money, see who's buying what, because those are going to be major developments. The residential will come in first, most likely.
Residential is happening out there. A lot of residential going on. There's I think 5 or 6 new apartment projects planned for the Conroe area. You go out Highway 105 west. A lot of new growth going out there. Some 2 or 3 residential tracts that are being developed out there right now for additional home sites. So that's going to breed more commercial activity, retail, some office, as you said, medical. So just a lot of growth in all quadrants there.
Do you see much multifamily?
There's about 5 or 6 multifamily in that Conroe market right there right now. I think overall in Houston, we did a little presentation at our strategic planning
yes.
for the Houston Association of Realtors. And right now, there are multifamily. There's under construction of about 23,000 units,
Jeez.
which is a lot of multifamily.
But if you have a lot of families moving every day into Houston, it's probably going to get filled up pretty quickly.
Yeah, and it's fabulous how much growth is happening there.
You know, we've had some apartment leasing and folks on, and just a really good friend of mine. In fact, they're going to be at my house tomorrow, so I'm sure he'll have more tales about this kind of stuff. But just the cost of housing in the renting inside and all that sort of thing just has skyrocketed. I mean, it's right up there with purchasing homes. I mean, it really is. And so that's I'm curious about that side of it. Seeing the growth in that 23,000 units, that is mind-boggling.
That's a lot of units.
That's a lot of units.
And there was an article, this morning's Chronicle, I think I saw, where East Doe or East Downtown, where there's another project that's being announced over there off Navigation near Memphis in that area. So that's a section of Houston that is poised for some really strong growth. So they're looking at putting some units there for all the professionals that want them to be near downtown that can't afford the prices and the heights, but still want to have that proximity.
Which has gotten absolutely crazy. Now, you had some great information that you shared with the HAR about amount of square footage being built in and around the project, stuff like that. Maybe you can kind of open up that presentation and see if you've got any of that you could share.
Nope.
Nope.
No.
Okay, moving on, folks.
Moving on.
Give me which specific.
I would love to know about the amount of square footage of total. You had commercial buildings. You had some numbers.
Yeah,
about that.
office space under construction is about 17 million square feet in the greater Houston area. That's a lot of space.
That's a lot of cranes.
And
Don't pay attention to the sounds.
Industrial, we're at just under 8 million square feet, and retail about 2.7 million square feet.
That is incredible.
Yeah, it's like I say, we're fortunate to be in Texas and absolutely blessed to be in the Houston market.
Now, you may not be able to answer this question. I want to ask you, do you think developers who don't really communicate with each other, everyone's putting new square footage on the ground, and by the time they break the project out and other developers realize it's happening, are we going to overbuild?
It's happened before, Rob.
Oh, yes, I know.
And it can certainly happen again. Right now our economy is good. I think I saw some recent figures where our job growth year over year through the end of October, those 12-month period was over 120,000. So that's awfully strong numbers. Even if that decreases some based on the oil prices that we talked about, I think it's still going to be a healthy number. But certainly it's a risk that we have to watch. I think there are 6 new office buildings proposed to be built on I-45 in the Woodlands corridor. I doubt all of those get built. I hope all of those don't get built because then
you'll have a glut.
Then you could get into
that'll stabilize prices at the same time. But and I'm going to blame lenders a little bit here because lenders say I want to see this in my portfolio. I don't want to see this, and so they sometimes dictate what gets developed out there.
That's true.
They want to see they like bigger projects because they don't have to go out and replace it with a lot of smaller loans, things like that. So I should got our finger up in the air like we have to go on a break pretty soon.
Yeah, I think that's what that meant.
Yeah. So, Mario, before we go on a break, how can people get a hold of you?
Well, they can reach me at my office, and you want a phone number?
You can give it whatever you want. It's absolutely...
No, that's okay. We don't need to give them a phone, but they can certainly reach me at HAR. They can contact me there, and I'll be glad to talk to them, give them some additional information. So.
Yeah. And Mario has always been a great wealth of information. I always pull him aside when we're going to meetings and say, hey, what's going on? What's going on? Because, it's such a huge impact on what we do.
Yeah,
and people don't want
to... It's all interconnected. Absolutely.
It's all interconnected because people don't want to move to areas there's not services.
Absolutely.
An office building like that. So, well, we are coming up against the break here.
We unfortunately, fortunately have sponsors that we have to give some press
when
to.
You are having fun. So
yes.
We will be right back.
And it keeps it out of sight. When that shark bites with its teeth, baby, scarlet billows start to spread. Fancy glows